Welcome to Detachment Mastery, Mind Waves Audiobook. In this session, we explore the profound art of detachment and how releasing attachment to outcomes, people, and expectations can lead to true freedom and peace. Discover strategies to let go, find clarity, and reclaim your inner balance, all while remaining fully present in life's flow. Together, let's unlock the power of detached living to achieve lasting transformation. T however encourages you to loosen your grip on them. It's not about indifference or giving up your dreams, but about embracing uncertainty and realizing you can't control everything. You are encouraged to put in your best effort, then let go of the outcome, knowing that whatever happens is for your highest good. This powerful principle can bring a sense of peace and freedom, helping you to navigate life's ups and downs with grace. For more information about the ebook version of this audio, visit audiobooksoffice.com. We noticed that 85% of you who listen to our video are not yet subscribed to the channel. Please help support the channel by hitting the subscribe button and like the video. Thanks for inspiring us to create more content for you. So come on and let's explore this transformative law and learn how to apply it to your own journey. Chapter 1: Understanding the Law of Detachment. Understanding the law of detachment is a complex concept, but grasping it could be transformative. It requires your ability to let go of the outcome and embrace uncertainty with confidence. It's not about being reckless or indifferent, but rather about letting go of the need to control every aspect of life and allowing things to unfold naturally. Although they are closely related, the laws of attraction and detachment are not the same. Visualizing and pursuing your want. While the law of detachment involves releasing expectations, you're not giving up on your goals. You're simply detaching from the outcome. It's about pursuing your goals passionately but without being consumed by the need for specific results. This law encourages you to live in the present, fully engaging with life as it is rather than how you wish it to be. You're encouraged to accept uncertainty, viewing it as an opportunity for growth rather than a source of anxiety. It's all about making peace with the unknown. Understanding and in the law of detachment could lead to a more fulfilling, stress-free life. It can foster resilience as you become less attached to specific outcomes and more adaptable to life's changes. Yet it's not about passivity. You're still actively involved in shaping your life, but you're doing so with a sense of peace and acceptance. The law of detachment is a profound concept, yet it's accessible to anyone willing to embrace uncertainty and let go of control. It's all about finding a balance between striving for what you want and accepting what is. Chapter 2: Origins of the Law of Detachment. While you're embracing this profound concept, it's important to know that the origins of the law of detachment trace back to ancient philosophies and spiritual traditions. This principle is deeply rooted in EAS philosophies, particularly in Buddhism and Hinduism. These ancient schools of thought emphasize the importance of liberation from attachment as a means to achieve spiritual enlightenment. Buddhists believe that attachment is a source of suffering. Therefore, the practice of detachment is vital in their pursuit of nirvana, a state of ultimate peace and liberation. Similarly, in Hinduism, the concept of detachment is embodied in the term vogya. The Sanskrit term translates to dispassion or non-attachment and is considered a critical virtue in attaining spiritual freedom. This concept was further explored in the works of ancient Greek philosophers. Stoicism, for instance, emphasizes the importance of emotional detachment to maintain a tranquil mind. Stoics argue that by detaching ourselves from the desire for what we can't control, we can achieve a state of inner peace. In more recent times, the law of detachment has been incorporated into various self-help and personal development philosophies, emphasizing its role in fostering mental health and well-being. The law suggests that by detaching from the outcome of our actions, we become more open to a range of possibilities, reducing anxiety and fostering a sense of contentment. As we delve further into the law of detachment, it's crucial to clarify some common misinterpretations that often arise. Chapter 3: Common misinterpretations. You might think the law of detachment encourages indifference or apathy, but it's crucial to clarify that it's not about developing an uncaring attitude towards life or its outcomes. Contrary to popular misconceptions, it doesn't advocate for emotional numbness or disengagement from your pursuits. Instead, it emphasizes the importance of not letting your desires or goals become a source of self-induced stress or anxiety. One common misinterpretation is that detachment implies not caring about results, yet in truth it asks you to focus on your actions and efforts rather than obsessing over the outcomes. It encourages you to find satisfaction in the process itself, fostering a healthier mindset that can lead to success without the accompanying stress. Another misconception is that the law of detachment promotes passivity. This assumption couldn't be further from the truth. The law doesn't suggest that you should refrain from making efforts or taking initiatives. Instead, it advocates for a balanced approach where you're actively engaged in your pursuits but remain unattached to the results. In summary, the law of detachment is about balancing ambition with serenity, effort with ease, and action with acceptance. It's not about retreating from life's challenges or avoiding responsibilities. Instead, it's about living fully and freely, unburdened by the weight of unfulfilled expectations or the fear of failure. Having dispelled these common misinterpretations, let's delve deeper into the intriguing intersection of the law of detachment and spirituality in the next section. Chapter 4: The law of detachment and spirituality in your spiritual journey. The law of detachment can serve as a powerful tool for inner peace and fulfillment. This law, rooted in Eastern philosophies, declares that in letting go we gain. It sounds paradoxical, doesn't it? Yet it's a principle that speaks to the core of spiritual growth and self-discovery. The law of detachment isn't about renouncing your desires. It's not about becoming indifferent or passive. It's about releasing the desperate need for specific outcomes, thereby opening yourself up to the limitless possibilities that the universe holds. It's about stepping away from preconceived notions and rigid expectations, allowing life to unfold in its own time and manner. For instance, you might have a goal to achieve a certain level of inner peace. That's fine, but if you're attached to the idea that it must happen in a specific way or time frame, you limit yourself. You become blind to other avenues and opportunities, and when things don't go as planned, you're left with disappointment, frustration, and a sense of failure. The law of detachment encourages you to keep your focus on your intentions without getting hung up on the how. This way you navigate life with an open mind and a flexible spirit. You're more present, more receptive to guidance, and more at peace with what is rather than what you think should be. Now that you understand the link between detachment and spirituality, let's delve deeper into the key principles of detachment. Chap 5: Key Principles of Detachment. Although it might seem daunting at first, understanding the key principles of detachment can profoundly shift your perspective and enrich your life. It's not about disengaging from the world, but rather about engaging more fully without being ensnared by the trappings of desire and fear. To start, you must understand that detachment isn't indifference. It's a deliberate decision to engage without expectation or attachment to the outcome. You'll find that this principle liberates you from the anxieties of wanting and needing, and allows you to act freely and authentically. Next, detachment is about surrendering control. It's recognizing that you don't have power over everything, and that's okay. By relinquishing your grip on the uncontrollable, you create space for acceptance, peace, and growth. Thirdly, it's crucial to grasp the idea that detachment isn't synonymous with isolation. You're not cutting yourself off from others, but rather learning to engage without losing yourself in the process. It's about maintaining your sense of self while remaining open and connected to those around you. Lastly, detachment requires mindfulness. It's about being present and engaged in the moment, but without the weight of past regrets or future anxieties. Through mindful detachment, you'll experience life more fully without the burden of unnecessary emotional baggage. In essence, these principles of detachment guide you towards a life of greater freedom, peace, and authenticity. It's a challenging path, but the rewards are profound, so embrace these principles and enrich your life through the power of detachment. Chapter 6: Detachment versus Indifference. Drawing upon the principles of detachment, let's delve into the crucial distinction between detachment and indifference. While both involve a certain degree of emotional neutrality, they differ significantly in their underlying motivations and implications. Detachment, as you've learned, is a conscious choice to refrain from emotional entanglement. It's a practice of mindfulness, allowing you to objectively observe situations without getting swept away by emotions. It isn't about being emotionless, rather it's about not letting your emotions control your actions or cloud your judgment. You remain aware and engaged, yet you're not emotionally reactive. Indifference, on the other hand, is characterized by a lack of interest, concern, or sympathy. It's an emotional disconnect stemming from apathy rather than mindfulness. Unlike detachment, where you care but choose not to let your emotions rule you, indifference is simply not caring at all. It's a passive state where you're emotionally unresponsive or disengaged. So while detachment is a mindful, active state of non-reactivity, indifference is a passive, unresponsive state of non-concern. Detachment fosters growth and understanding. It allows you to engage with life in a more balanced, less emotionally reactive way. Indifference, conversely, stunts growth and engenders disconnectedness. It's a disengagement from life stemming from a lack of care or concern. Understanding this distinction is crucial in your journey towards emotional health and mindfulness. Detachment isn't about becoming indifferent or uncaring, it's about achieving emotional equilibrium and clarity. Remember, it's not about not feeling but about not being ruled by your feelings. Chapter 7: The Art of Letting Go. To fully embrace the art of letting go, you've got to understand it's all about releasing your grip on the past and stepping into the uncertainty of the future. This process, though seemingly straightforward, is a complex psychological endeavor. It requires a deep understanding of your emotions, your reactions, and your attachment patterns. Letting go is a conscious choice, a decision to release the burdens that weigh you down, but to do so you must first confront these burdens head-on. You've got to explore your past, acknowledge your mistakes, and accept your failures. This acceptance is a crucial step towards healing. It allows you to make peace with your past and move forward. However, letting go doesn't mean forgetting or erasing your past. On the contrary, it's about learning from your experiences and using them as stepping stones towards growth. It's about detaching from the negative emotions that bind you and embracing a future filled with possibilities. Mastering the art of letting go requires practice and patience. It's an ongoing journey, a perpetual cycle of release and renewal, but the rewards are immense. It fosters emotional resilience, promotes mental health, and cultivates a sense of freedom and inner peace. Chapter 8: Applying the Law in Relationships. In your relationships, applying the law of detachment can create a healthy space for growth and mutual respect. This law, rooted in Buddhist philosophy, encourage attitudes. You're not renouncing love or affection, you're making room for authenticity and individuality. It's a shift from neediness and possessiveness to a state of love that's free, expansive, and respectful of personal boundaries. By not clinging to specific outcomes, you reduce anxiety and fear of loss. You're free to enjoy the relationship for what it is, not what you want it to be. To apply this law, you must first recognize the difference between attachment and love. Attachment is filled with expectations and demands, creating tension. Love, on the other hand, celebrates individuality and freedom, fostering peace. When you detach, you honor both your needs and your partner's, fostering mutual respect and understanding. Practicing detachment doesn't mean you're indifferent or disconnected. You're fully present, Engaged and responsive, you acknowledge your emotions but you don't let them dictate your actions. You communicate openly and honestly without criticism or blame. You're flexible, adaptable and open to change. Mastering this law requires patience and practice, but the rewards are profound. You'll experience healthier, more satisfying relationships filled with love, respect and genuine connection. As we transition to our next section, we'll explore how the law of detachment can be equally transformative in the professional realm, specifically within the workplace. Chapter 9: Detachment in the workplace. Just as you've applied the law of detachment in your personal relationships, it's equally beneficial to embrace this philosophy in your professional life. It can foster creativity, innovation, and productivity in unexpected ways. Detachment here doesn't mean apathy or disinterest in your work, rather, it's about releasing a rigid fixation on specific outcomes, which can often cloud your judgment and hinder your ability to find alternative solutions in your workplace. You may find yourself facing challenges such as striving for a promotion or dealing with a difficult coworker. Instead of becoming overly attached to these scenarios, it's more productive to focus on your actions, maintaining your standard of work and showing your dedication. This approach allows for a more flexible mindset, one that's open to all possible outcomes and not just fixated on a single goal. Now consider a project that's not going as planned. Your instinct might be to control every aspect to ensure success, but this could lead to stress, burnout, and even failure. By practicing detachment, you're able to step back, reassess the situation objectively, and identify new strategies that can lead to success. Chapter 10: Law of Detachment and Personal Growth. Embracing the law of detachment in your personal growth journey can yield profound benefits, allowing you to pursue your aspirations without the burden of excessive attachment to specific outcomes. This law, steeped in wisdom, argues for a balance between effort and surrender, steering you towards a state of calm acceptance of what is rather than what you perceive could be. Let's delve a bit deeper. When you're overly attached to an outcome, you're likely to experience heightened anxiety and stress. This not only impedes your ability to make clear decisions, but may also prevent you from fully appreciating your achievements as you're constantly focused on the next goal. Detachment, on the other hand, encourages a more mindful approach. It's about recognizing detachment for indifference. It's not about abandoning your goals or sharing responsibility, rather it's about approaching your pursuits with a sense of open-mindedness and flexibility, allowing you to adapt and learn as situations evolve. It's about cultivating resilience and maintaining balance in the face of uncertainty. Ultimately, the law of detachment fosters personal growth by promoting self-awareness, resilience, and adaptability. It encourages a healthier relationship with your goals, where you are not defined by success or failure. Chapter 11: Detachment, a pathway to peace. As you delve further into the practice of detachment, you'll discover it's not merely a tool for personal growth but also a pathway to peace. The cultivation of detachment, you see, fosters a deep sense of tranquility. By disentangling from the capricious whims of circumstance, you're liberated from the relentless pendulum of joy and distress, instead finding a centered calm that remains unflustered by life's tumultuous ebbs and flows. Detachment, in essence, is an exercise in mindfulness. It's about observing your emotions, thoughts, and experiences without being swept away by them. You're not suppressing or denying your experiences, rather you're witnessing them without judgment or reactivity, thus maintaining your inner equilibrium. Researchers in psychology and neuroscience have confirmed that remoteness has a calming impact. Mindfulness-based techniques with detachment aspects have been demonstrated to alleviate stress, anxiety, and depression, providing a more serene frame of mind. Critically, detachment doesn't mean indifference or apathy. It's Not about disconnecting but about healthy non-attachment. You remain fully engaged with life but without the unnecessary suffering that comes from clinging to what's transient and uncontrollable. In this sense, detachment is a kind of radical acceptance of reality as it is, leading to a profound inner peace. Now, peace isn't the end point, it's the fertile ground from which further growth can occur. In the next section we'll explore how letting go of expectation is an integral part of the detachment process, allowing you to navigate life with greater ease and serenity. Chapter 12: Letting Go of Expectations. While you're cultivating the sense of detachment, it's crucial that you also start letting go of your expectations. Expectations are often the root of disappointment and frustration. By clinging to specific outcomes, you're setting yourself up for potential distress. Detachment, on the other hand, invites flexibility, adaptability, and acceptance of whatever comes your way. Letting go of expectations doesn't mean you stop caring about outcomes. It means understanding that the future is inherently uncertain and it's healthier to focus on the process rather than the result. This shift in perspective allows for personal growth and resilience in the face of adversity. It's important to differentiate between expectation and aspirations. Aspirations are goals you strive towards, while expectations are rigid outcomes you believe must occur. When you set expectations, you're trying to control the future, which is an exercise in futility. By releasing this need for control, you're able to experience life more fully and respond to situations with greater flexibility and creativity. This process of letting go, however, isn't easy. It requires introspection, self-awareness, and patience. You'll need to identify your expectations, understand their origins, and then actively choose to release them. It's a journey that involves embracing uncertainty and accepting that life's outcomes aren't always in your control. Chapter 13: Case Studies. Law of Detachment Successes. To truly grasp the transformative power of the law of detachment, let's delve into some real life success stories that beautifully illustrate its impact. Consider the case of a mid-level manager named Sarah. She was ambitious, hardworking, and had her sights set on a promotion, but despite her best efforts, she was continually passed over. When she discovered the law of detachment, she decided to let go of her fixation on the promotion. She focused on her work, not the outcome. In a surprising twist, this mental shift led to the case of Tom, a struggling writer. He was driven by the dream of having a bestseller, but instead of obsessing over his goal, he decided to detach from it. He focused on honing his craft, writing for the sheer joy of it. This detachment led to a creative breakthrough, resulting in a novel that not only fulfilled his dream but also received critical acclaim. These case studies underscore the power of the law of detachment. By letting go of their fixed outcomes, Sarah and Tom were able to focus on the task at hand, which in turn led to unexpected successes. This isn't to say that goals aren't important, rather it's a reminder that the path to success isn't always linear. The law of detachment invites you to release your expectations, focus on your actions, and allow the outcomes to unfold naturally. It's a powerful tool for personal and professional growth, and these case studies are a testament to its efficacy. Chapter 14: The Law and Emotional Resilience. You'll find that the law of detachment can play a crucial role in fostering emotional resilience. It's a law that emphasizes the importance of disconnecting oneself from particular outcomes, freeing your mind from the constant chatter of expectations, fears, and disappointments. This doesn't mean you're not caring. Instead, it's about not letting the outcome dictate your emotional state. By practicing detachment, you're learning to let go of things you can't control. This is a key aspect of emotional resilience, as it allows you to bounce back from adversity and maintain your composure in the face of life's inevitable ups and downs. You are no longer exclusively at the mercy of external circumstances, but rather you gain a level of internal control that can significantly lessen emotional turmoil. Understanding and implementing this law requires introspection and practice. It's about acknowledging your emotions but not allowing them to rule you. You'll find that with consistent application you'll become more resilient, less reactive, and more capable of handling life's uncertainties. So how do you cultivate this? Start by observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment or resistance. Practice mindfulness. Stay present and learn to accept things as they are. This won't happen overnight, but with time you'll notice a positive shift in your emotional well-being. Chapter 15: Cultivating Detachment in Daily Life. In your day-to-day life, practicing emotional detachment can become a powerful stress buster, helping you navigate through challenges with grace and calm. It's not about avoiding emotions or becoming apathetic, rather it's developing the ability to take a step back, observe your emotions, and not let them control your actions. How do you cultivate this skill? Start with mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, and reactions. When you're aware, you can start to detach. You're not repressing your emotions, you're simply not letting them dictate your day. Next, try to practice non-judgment. When an emotion arises, don't label it as good or bad, simply acknowledge it, observe it, and let it pass without acting on it. You'll find that over time you'll react less to emotional triggers and maintain a more even keel. Finally, remember that detachment doesn't mean disconnection. You can still care deeply about people and things while maintaining emotional balance. It's about being present yet not swept away by the tides of emotion. Cultivating emotional detachment is a journey, not a destination. It requires ongoing practice and patience, but the rewards, reduced stress, better decision making, and improved relationships are well worth the effort. So start today. Breathe, observe, don't judge, and keep practicing. Soon you'll notice a positive shift in your emotional landscape. Detachment in essence is a key to a peaceful and balanced life. Chapter 16: Detachment and Material Possessions. Start examining your relationship with your material possessions to understand how detachment can free you from the burden of excessive attachment. Consider, for instance, the emotional weight you attach to objects. You've likely noticed that the more you value an object, the more you fear losing it. This fear in turn leads to stress and anxiety. The law of detachment suggests that by reducing your attachment to material possessions, you can mitigate these negative emotions. You might question how it's possible to detach from material possessions in a society that often measures success by material wealth. It's crucial, however, to differentiate between use and attachment. It's not about giving up material wealth, but rather reframing your relationship with it. You can enjoy and use your possessions without becoming emotionally dependent on them. So how can you practice this? Start by recognizing the transient nature of material possessions. They can be lost, stolen, or become obsolete. Understanding this impermanence can help reduce your attachment. Next, cultivate gratitude for what you have rather than longing for what you don't. This shift in mindset can foster a healthier relationship with your possessions. Chapter 17: The Law of Detachment and Health. While enjoying your possessions without emotional dependency can lead to inner peace, it's also worth noting that applying the law of detachment to your health can potentially foster physical well-being. This principle, primarily rooted in Eastern philosophies, asserts that by releasing your emotional grip on outcomes you might open yourself to a wealth of unexpected benefits. In the context of health, this doesn't mean neglecting your wellness or ignoring symptoms of illness. Rather, it suggests approaching your health with flexibility, acceptance, and an open mind. Instead of obsessing over every ache or symptom, you learn to experience them without panic or fear. You acknowledge the transient nature of physical discomfort, understanding that just as it came, it will also pass. It's also about detaching from rigid health goals or ideals. While having health objectives is important, being overly attached to them can lead to stress, frustration, and disappointment, all of which negatively impact your well-being. By practicing detachment, you can pursue these objectives without the emotional turmoil. Furthermore, embracing the law of detachment can help you make better health decisions. By releasing anxieties about your health, you're more likely to make choices based on rational thinking rather than emotional reactions. This can lead to healthier behaviors and habits, promoting overall physical wellness. Chapter 18: Detachment is a stress management tool. As you learn more about the law of detachment and its effects on your health, you'll discover that it may also be used to manage stress. Embracing detachment is about letting go of the urge to control results, which is frequently a cause of stress. It doesn't imply giving up or not caring. By deliberately separating yourself from results, you'll discover that you're less reactive to stress and can engage fully in life while keeping a serene, balanced condition. And more resilient in the face of adversity. Instead of getting caught up in worry and anxiety over what might happen, you learn to let go and trust in the flow of life. This doesn't mean that you stop striving for goals or ignore problems. Instead, it's about acknowledging that there are many things beyond your control and focusing on what you can influence. You do your best, take action when necessary, but you don't get tangled in expectations and anxieties about the future. Many studies support the benefits of detachment for stress management. It's linked to improved mental health, lower levels of burnout, and better sleep quality. Detachment can provide a sense of peace and freedom, reducing the strain on your emotional and physical health. Detachment as a stress management tool requires practice. It's not always easy, but with time you'll find that it can significantly reduce your stress levels, improve your well-being, and enhance your overall quality of life. Explore this principle and see how it can transform your approach to stress management. Chapter 19: Detachment in Modern Psychology. In your journey through modern psychology, you will discover that detachment plays a crucial role in various therapeutic approaches. Often seen as a valuable skill, it allows you to disengage mentally and emotionally from distressing situations. This isn't about avoiding or denying your feelings. Instead, it's about observing them without judgment or immediate reaction. When you delve deeper, you'll find that detachment is a cornerstone of cognitive behavioral therapy. This method encourages you to examine your thoughts and feelings objectively, enabling you to challenge and change unhelpful thinking patterns. As you learn to detach, you'll find it easier to recognize negative thought cycles and prevent them from escalating. Detachment also plays a significant role in mindfulness-based therapies. Here you're encouraged to observe your thoughts and feelings as transient, not defining aspects of your identity. This viewpoint develops a sense of detachment which can lead to less anxiety and more emotional stability. However, detachment isn't without its controversies. In certain cases, excessive detachment can lead to emotional numbness or disconnection from reality, a condition known as depersonalization derealization disorder. Thus, it's essential to approach detachment with balance and under the guidance of a trained professional. Chapter 20: The Law of Detachment, Myths Debunked. Moving on from the principle of detachment in psychology, let's debunk some common myths surrounding the law of detachment. The first widespread myth is that detachment equates to indifference. This is far from the truth. Detachment doesn't mean you're uncaring or dismissive. Instead, it's about accepting reality as it is without letting your emotions cloud your judgment. Another common misconception is that detachment promotes isolation. You might think that by detaching you're cutting yourself off from others. However, the law of detachment encourages mindfulness and presence. It's not about building walls around yourself but about understanding your emotional boundaries and maintaining a healthy distance when necessary. Many also mistakenly believe that the law of detachment implies lack of ambition. This couldn't be further from the truth. Detachment isn't about giving up your goals or aspirations, it's about pursuing them without being overly attached to a specific outcome. It's about focusing on the journey rather than the destination. The misconception that detachment equates to weakness is untrue. In fact, it takes a great deal of strength and self-awareness to separate oneself from circumstances or feelings. Detachment is a sign of emotional intelligence and resilience rather than frailty. Finally, it's a common misperception that detachment is a one-size-fits-all solution. It's not a journey for every individual. With detachment is unique and calls for a tailored approach. In debunking these myths, you're one step closer to understanding the true essence of the law of detachment. Remember, it's about balance, acceptance, and emotional agility, not about indifference, isolation, or giving up. Chapter 21 Next Steps Implementing Detachment. Now that you've debunked some common myths, let's dive into 5 practical steps you can take to effectively apply the law of detachment in your everyday life. Firstly, recognize your attachments. This involves a deep introspective look at your life, identifying areas where you're overly reliant or emotionally bound. These could be relationships, material possessions, or even particular outcomes. Secondly, understand why you're attached. Often, attachments stem from fear or insecurity. Are you afraid of losing something or someone? Do you feel incomplete without certain elements in your life? Understanding these reasons will help you address the root cause. Thirdly, consciously decide to let go. This is easier said than done, but it's a crucial step. You've to accept that attachments can limit your growth and make a conscious decision to release them. Fourth step involves practicing mindfulness. Be present. Weight of your attachments. Mindfulness can also help you cultivate a sense of contentment and acceptance with what is rather than what could be. Lastly, practice detachment gradually. Detachment isn't an overnight process, it's a journey that requires consistent effort and patience. Start small, like letting go of minor irritations or reducing dependency on material possessions. The law of detachment doesn't mean that you stop caring or desiring, rather it's about freeing yourself from the confines of attachment, allowing you to experience life more fully, openly, and peacefully. In implementing these steps, you're on your way to a more detached and ultimately fulfilling life. You might argue that detachment fosters indifference, but it's not so. In reality, it's about releasing the need to control outcomes, inviting peace, and reducing stress. It's a valuable tool recognized in spirituality, psychology, and stress management. By understanding and integrating the law of detachment, you're not abandoning your passions or goals. Instead, you're opening yourself to life's possibilities. Thank you for tuning into Detachment Mastery, Mind Waves audiobook. Remember, true mastery lies in embracing life with openness, while letting go of what you cannot control. Detachment is not about indifference, but about finding strength and peace within yourself. If you enjoyed this session, subscribe for more insights on personal growth and mindful living. Until next time, stay present, let go, and continue mastering your journey.